Hello, hello. I am going to just give it a minute and yeah, how's everybody today? To me, it is the most wonderful weather right now. I'm super, super excited that the weather is so cool and yeah. Oops. All right. So, my name's Christy, and I am with Junk Journal Boss. This is a family-owned, family-run business, very small, run by Ezra and I, who is in the chat. And let me know if there's any issues with sound, guys, and all that. And let's see. Looks like we're looking pretty good. All right, great. Thank you, Ezra. So what we do with in Junk Journal Boss is we create folio sets that we sell in an Etsy shop, and you know they're really, really awesome. Amy, thank you. They're really, really cool. The one we're doing today is we're going to build the folio kit out of the pieces or the kit that Ezra recently made, and that is Sapphire Morning Glory. And I love the color scheme of this. I feel like it's I was trying to think of how I would describe this, and I feel like it's very like cool colors and a little bit haunting. So yeah, I really love it. So, but before we do that, guys, well, you can take a look at the pieces if you want to. But before we get started, I want to give a shout out to my patrons. And I'm going to do that right now while you guys just kind of look at the papers and the colors and everything like that. If you want to get this set while I'm doing this, or while I'm talking or whatever, you can go to the Etsy shop, and I do have a link here. I'm sure Ezra probably has the link too. Maybe it would be better if Ezra dropped the link there. And let me go on with the patrons. All right, so we have a Patreon group that gets a one exclusive set every month, you know, something we don't sell, not for until like a year later. So this is actually what's on sale in our shop, but you get a special one if you are a patron on any of the tiers, and also you get some Mass Make Monday live streams from 4 to 5 Pacific every Monday. And so these are my dragonflies, and I want to say thank you to all of them: April Harrell, Darla White, Dawn Graham, Holly Spink, Jane Dunlap, Mary Reynolds, Melissa, and Michelle Caldwell, and Sammy D, and also Wendy Hicks Fulton, who's new. So thank you so much for all of your support, you guys, and thank you for beginning to support us, Wendy, and we're just really, really grateful to all of you. And our butterflies is our middle tier, our $5 tier, and that is my butterflies are Amy, Lynn Mellinson, Debbie Rask, Ellen Davis, and Marla Kimmel. Super stoked to have you guys. And our wildflowers is our $2 tier. We've got Nana Creates, Hippie Bee Kimmy, Janice Crane, Lee Brown, Linda Powell, MK, Nikki Proctor, Polly, Rhonda Howe, Sasha, and Susan. So thank you so much for all of your support, guys. Really appreciate you. Let's see. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. I believe that I've probably said everything I needed to say. Ezra, remind me if I have forgotten anything, but for now, I think we're good. So I cut out all the pieces before. I'm trying to do that now, you know, to be as, hi Michelle, as, I don't know, prepared. My business manager told me I need to be more prepared, and so that's what I'm doing now. So here are all my pieces. And I just absolutely love this set. So we're going to go ahead and start with the cover. And so you can, so Ezra creates these covers, and what you can do is you can actually glue these together. And these are out of cardstock. I prefer to do one out of cardstock and one out of just regular paper, the 32-pound paper that I use, because it creates a lot of excess like wrinkles and things, and it ends up being kind of weird. So I'm going to set this one aside, and you can just think of it as, you know, depending on how you want it to open. I usually use this one because I like it to open from this side, and you'll see what I mean. And then this one here is our extension. So that's something, I don't know if other businesses do this, or other folio kits have this, but we like to put an extension because we like to add a lot of ephemera to whatever we're doing. Hey Amy. And so the first thing I want to do, though, to make sure that, because every time I cut, you know, when I fussy cut stuff, there's always like these white edges here, and since this is such a dark color, I want to make sure to cover that up somewhat. And so let me see how this color does. I'm using Ranger Ink Salty Ocean, but I might change, so keep that in mind. I'll let you know if I change it. But I just want to cover up the excess color right here and see if that looks a little better. Oh, if you guys go over to the shop and grab this, sorry, I forgot to tell you this before, but if you use September 25, that's the code for this month's 25% off, and that works on anything fall related. So this doesn't look like fall colors, but it is fall related. It's September Gemstone and birthflower kit. So yeah, so the 25% off September 25 goes for this, or it goes for Hello Kitties and Autumn Enchantment, which those are ones that I'm going to be doing in the coming weeks. So there you go. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and create this part here, put these together, because I inevitably need a lot of space to do stuff, to add things in. So yesterday, so Todd and I are starting to like do this thing where we're gonna like plan to do something together. It could be like cleaning something at the house, or shopping, or the movies, or whatever, on Tuesdays, which is really fun. And yesterday he took me to the craft store and treated me to a bunch of new things. I've had kind of a downer few weeks, so he wanted to do something really nice for me, so he took me out to lunch and we went to the craft store. and it was really nice, and I got a lot of really cool new stuff, guys, that I'm really happy about. Oh, I guess that's glue. Okay, well, all right, so I'm going to let this dry, and I am going to think about, wait a minute, what's happening? Oh no, a little bit crooked here. I don't know how that happened. I'm going to be thinking about what kind of paper I want to put on the inside. And I think the way that I have been wanting, the discount code is September 25. I think what I'm liking to do lately, because of buckling and all that stuff, is I prefer to actually to ink the edges or the inside a little bit, you know, just to kind of give it some color. I'm not going to ink the whole thing, but what I want to do is add color here, just kind of around the edges. And anywhere, actually anywhere that there is one of these spine. Yeah, thanks, Ezra. Yeah, anywhere, I think it might be all caps. If that doesn't work, you guys, try that in all caps, the September 25, because for some reason when I create a coupon code, I could create it like lowercase, but it always like makes it uppercase. So I don't know if that's, you know, necessary, but whatever. And the September 25 is going to be good for the whole month, and it will be good on the fall items. And if we have any new fall items coming in, which we will, or being listed, it will go for that too. I may have to recreate it though, the coupon code. So at any rate, it's just I don't have them all right now. Okay, so this is how I'm doing this. Actually, let me do this part too. I don't want to be committed to have to cover the whole inside of this. And this is just something I've started doing rather than, you know, covering the whole thing with paper. Instead, I want to cover it with, you know, pieces of paper here. So in order for me to actually center things right, I would like to, I don't want to use such a big one. So when you're printing these out, guys, you want to make sure that if you're making your scores on the outside, you want to make sure you don't use something like super sharp, because it will, depending on how you're printing, it will mess up the color on the outside. So that's the bad news. The good news is that it's easy enough to deal with if you do. I do like to keep the Ranger inks in all kinds of different colors, because I just feel like, you know, it's a quick fix to things. But this doesn't seem to be having much trouble here. And I did laser print it, so that could be the thing making a difference. And so let's see. I know that a lot of you guys are part of the Patreon posse, which is my new name for you. So there you go. And so I just dropped a Goodie Alert file in the Patreon. And actually, even if you are, you know, a free member there, you can grab that Goodie Alert file along with all the other ones too that I have done in the past. That might be my second Goodie Alert for this month, which is really odd for me, but I wanted to give you guys something. I wanted to give out something for journal cards, to back the journal cards. And I'll show you what that is a little bit later, but at any rate, just know that there's a goodie over there for you. And it's a pretty good one. Oops, gosh, what's happening with me? It's probably a little more, I don't know, a little better than other goodie files. Maybe, maybe not. It just has more pages. Don't you love that sound? So again, I'm using Salty Ocean, and I will add that to an Amazon list. I'm still trying to work out how to do that, because since I kind of just do them on the fly. Yay. Since I kind of just do them on the fly, as far as like embellishment and stuff, I don't always know what I'm going to use, but this will be something that is on there. Other things that I typically use are, you know, like various colors of ribbon, you know, that are matching. I tend to use satin. I sometimes will use, and double-sided satin is what I really like using. Grosgrain ribbon, or that knit or that crochet ribbon that I always use. So there's a couple of hints to, you know, where I might be going with that. I'm usually going to use a Ranger ink, and I've already told you the color of this. And if you buy this thing and print it out, you know, you may want to use a different color, and you may already have it or not, but whatever. Other things that usually go on that list are the glue that I use, and right now I'm using up my art glitter glue, which is a good glue, but I don't like it as much as the Barely art glue, but you know, both are expensive, and so I want to make sure to use what I have. So some of the stuff I got yesterday were a couple of really cute stamps. And I was actually looking for Halloween, but you know, I went to Hobby Lobby, so they don't typically have that. They're mostly more fall based. So, you know, I got a couple things that I could use this season. Okay, so this is how this is supposed to look. Again, you know, the way that we make these, we try to make them, you know, as so that everything fits in as comfortably as possible. Sometimes I have to redo a score line, and that's okay, but we are trying to not have to do that so much. All right, so inside I have the choices of what I want to put inside. So these pages I don't think are in the set, but you know, we can add them. But these were pages that actually Ezra gave me because I was like, hey, I need something to work with for Monday. And but I think they're a little too dark for what I want. So I can maybe put something like this inside of there. I can cover it with, you know, something like this, but these also are dark. And none of them are really that matchy. Or I can just cover them, you know, with a colored paper. I don't really know what I want to do yet because I just don't. If you guys have suggestions, go ahead and pop those into the chat. But at this point, it doesn't really matter what I put on the inside. What matters is that is the way that I put things in, okay? And that's, yeah, I think I've got some colors that I can use. I didn't want it to be super, super dark on the inside. So some colors that I could use would be, you know, like these. Let me go on the back side and see what matches best. Oh, that's the same color. For some reason, these look different colored. Oh, this one is different colored. Okay, so I like the darker one a little bit better. And then if I have a lavender one, that would be really good too. So I think I'm going to just go with these two because it's just taking too long for me to find it. The other option is I can actually cut this, and this is part of the Goodie Alert file. My printer was doing something weird here. But I can, these look like they might be the right size, basically, to put here. So I think I will do that. Oh, I never did finish telling you guys what else I've got in from there. And so let's see. I got, this needs to be smaller. I got some really cute stamps. Here's one of them. That's one that Todd picked out. And it's super cute. There was a whole set of them, and for some reason they were more expensive than all the others. I'm cutting this at 3.5 wide. Okay. And then basically the panels on the inside are this big. So I want to make sure that it's going to fit nicely. And so these pieces will be 3.5 by, I'll go 6, 3.5 by 6. So that was one of the stamps, which is really cute. There's a whole set of those. Also, I got this one, which is really fun. And that one I'll be able to use 100 million times, I'm sure. And then I got this one. And the stamps, surprisingly, are pretty inexpensive. Unusually inexpensive, in my opinion. So, and I got a few other things, but I don't want to get too far off the path here. So this would be 6, and I think I'll just, so we went and ate at The Habit. Has anybody ever eaten there? It's a, I think it's a California thing, you know, like kind of like In-N-Out Burger, but it's pretty big over here now. I was 2 years old when that restaurant started. It was probably just some little hole in the wall in Santa Barbara before, but I had never really known about it until probably the last 10 years maybe. So let's see. So that was really super good. I get this burger called the Santa Barbara burger, and oh my gosh, it's so good. But it's like a double burger, and I don't really tend to eat double burgers anymore. You know, it's not because of like weight stuff or anything. It's just, oh my god. Yeah, it's really good though. To me, it's comparable to In-N-Out Burger, you know, any day. So I think these are a little thick. Really super good though. Has anybody eaten at a place called the Heart Attack Burger though? Because I've never, but I heard of it and it sounds threatening. I need to know if anybody has eaten there. Oh, I think I'm cutting my ruler. That is so weird. Okay. So yeah, anyway, that's what we did yesterday. There's a lot more stuff that I got, but I can't really think of what it all is. I know I got some stuff for my dollhouse because I guess they're not going to be carrying dollhouse stuff anymore. And what's been holding me up is, you know, from finishing. I mean, it's never going to be finished, but what's been holding me up a lot is the electricity. I haven't gotten the electricity in to the dollhouse yet, and so I feel kind of like stuck. I get you, Ezra. In-N-Out Burger's kind of been, it's like for our family, you know, In-N-Out Burger's kind of like Disney, you know, we've always been like Disney, In-N-Out Burger. These are things that, you know, started when I was a kid and might have started when my mom was a kid. So, you know, they're kind of family staples. So I get you, Ezra. I used to kind of not like In-N-Out Burger when I was a little kid. And then, you know, it grew on me, but I don't think it had always been my favorite. So these are a little short. It'll be okay though, right guys? Okay, here's when I need, what do you guys think of this? Or should I have the two colors and the two lines together? Yeah, at this point it is genetic. It's so funny. Yeah, we really do. These are like our little staple things for our family. I'm going to take my sweater off, and I'm sorry if it's weird, but it's starting to get hot now. All right, so I kind of like the way this looks. I do think that these probably need to be trimmed down because I just need it to be uniform pretty much. So I'm going to do that. Right? Your daughter knows. I think alternating looks cool too. So I think that's where I'm going to go with this. And oh, we got a little bit of ASMR there, guys, because I just trimmed this right underneath the mic. I can't wait to do something different, get a different kind of mic. I think that would be really nice to have it like up here versus right here where I move my arms around and stuff. So is anyone else getting like tons of ants? It seems like, you know, it's kind of bad right now this year. And once you get rid of them in one place, they're just like, yeah, I found a new place in. So yeah. Have you eaten it out at In-N-Out Burger before, Michelle? And if you haven't, what is like your guys' famous burger joint or food restaurant or whatever? So I'm continuing to use the same Distress Oxide, which is the Salty Ocean, just for continuity. And I keep forgetting to like be a little more careful with this because sometimes I get these smudges and I don't like that. So I'm trying to be a little bit more careful. One more. We're just chilling. So the reason why I cut these out instead, if you didn't catch it before, rather than just covering the whole inside with paper, is because it doesn't add more bulk to the different spines that I have. Okay, so wherever the scores are just going to be, I'm just going to fold on those scores versus, you know, on this paper's score and then these paper's scores or whatever, a whole paper. If that makes sense. If that doesn't make sense, I can explain that a different way, but at any rate, I'm going to just assume y'all understand what I'm saying. Oh, I guess I did these double-sided. Well, I don't want to spend any more time with this. So this is the reason why I kind of like the other glue better, because it doesn't seem to need as much, you know, babysitting as the art glitter glue. And God forbid I use it. Oops, I use a one of those super thin tips. That's pretty much a nightmare for me. So I just try to fix it. Try to pull some of the glue away from the sides. It does curl it. So I don't know. I'm not sure that, you know, which way is better. The jury's still out. So as long as you guys have been, some of you guys have been with me, you've seen me go through different, you know, finding out different things, different methods to use that just make things so much easier. So I'm sure that I'll find something. Where did my... Here's something. These I guess these burnisher things from Dollar Tree aren't really as good as others. They seem to get kind of eaten away, which is weird. I have one that I have been really enjoying a lot, and that is the silhouette one. Doesn't have anywhere for the cute little sorry again, guys. It doesn't have anywhere for the cute little jewelry that I have on this one. But it's not like being eaten away the way this one is. I don't really know what the difference is in the plastic, but there is a difference. So there's that. I'm trying to keep an eye on where these folds are, because it's hard to see. All right. My business manager says I should be turning my, let's see, I should be turning my stuff down, so I'm going to do that real quick. So my phone doesn't, there we go. And by business manager, I mean Ezra. So Ezra's a good business manager. Okay. I like this one because it has the flat part, and it also has this, like a little rounded part, which, I don't know, for some reason it feels good to use sometimes, so. You are Ezra. Ezra's one of the people that can like tell me stuff, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'll do that. Really, really, Ezra and I have been close forever and ever, so. Which is as it should be, right? But it's not really always that way with your kids. All right, so there's the inside. So it looks pretty cool. I could use a little bit more ink here, but that's easy, right? So it's kind of cool. It looks like clouds, right? Which isn't necessarily the idea, but I like it lighter better. Okay, so whoops, I think I did these upside down. Whoops. Oh well, we're not going to worry about that, right? Because we just don't worry about stuff like that. So that is really cute. So since I made this mistake and it looks kind of weird down here, I can fix it. And a decent way to fix it is with just I'm just going to use a Sharpie marker, but a really thin tip. And then just, you know, draw an extra line down here. This might be a little bit too thick, but I'm gonna just be okay with it. Oh wow, well that didn't even work at all. Let's go here. There we go. And so now you can't really tell it was any different. So if you're like me, you will probably do lots of upside down things. And then there's always a way to work it out, right? It never has to be like, oh my gosh. Okay, so I have this part done. But I think what should also happen is deciding what kind of closure I'm going to have on this. And so I've been thinking about closures, and there are a couple different ways to do that I could do this. I could use a ribbon, and I'm gonna have to open this up and see how this actually looks laying on this color. So this is like really sheer. I think it looks pretty cool. This might be something I use. That would be a really easy one, because I would just need a long length of this, and perhaps, you know, something to cover this back part, because glue will show through. I can decide not to glue it in at all. So there's that. There are other options for closures as well. And one of those, it might still be a little bit too late for me to do it. But I can do one of these little guys, you know, like maybe use something like this. Or I think that one's really cute. I don't know that I have any other that I think, you know, really stands out. There's this one, but it had something glued into the middle, and so I don't know. I don't want to mess with it. But I also got these, which are various color brads. And I'm not really big on buying, like, you know, a lot of these things just at, you know, the store or something, because they're always like more expensive than I like. But sometimes it's just like that, you know. I don't want to make an order to, you know, Temu just for something like that when these are only $2.49, you know. You know what I didn't see at Hobby Lobby, which was really interesting, is I did not see, let's see, hang on one second. I did not see all of those sale signs that they usually have. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay, so this would be like right here and right here. But what is on the other side of this? Okay, so it's this page. So it's that. Okay. Yeah, so I didn't really see any of that, which was really strange to me. And I'm not sure why, because they're always like just all over the place. All right, so I can do brads if I want to, and just, you know, brads and string. I can do ribbon. Let's see. So I can do magnets, which have been, I've gotten different magnets now that I like to use that are a little bit bigger, that probably will keep this closed a lot better. And I think for this, for a folio like this, I want to try maybe doing these bigger these bigger magnets, because we fill, oops, we fill these up quite a bit. And so I'm gonna want to try, I think, oh my goodness, you guys, these just really stick so well together. I think I'm gonna try this. And so I'll put one on the other side of here, and then one, yeah. Let me make sure I'm doing So I'll let that dry there. And then let's see how that goes on. So it's pretty much right on that circle. All right. So now they're sticking. So I believe that I should just cover this. These ones are going to be a little bit harder to cover than those flat, the really flat ones, the 1 millimeter. These are 2 millimeter. So they're going to be a little bit more difficult to cover. So this side, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, but this side, hold on a second. Let me put a clip or something so these stay together. I think the outside I'll work on for now. And I will probably cover that with something adorable. I think I have an idea, guys. I just saw something this morning that I thought would be cute. So I think I'll cover it with that. What do you guys think? I mean, yeah, it's matchy. It's matchy enough. Ooh, it's so cute. What do you guys think? I dig it. Okay. All right. So while we're waiting for that stuff to dry, I am going to cut these out. I've always wanted to have morning glories on the front of my house, but you know, like on our patio, and I like them to go all the way over the whole patio and everything. A couple things stop me from doing that. One of them is that I'll put in a whole bunch of work and then I'll forget that I did that, and then all my morning glories will die. That's most commonly what happens. But also, we have a lot of spiders here. And so in the summer, it might be okay in spring, right? But in the summer, which spring is when morning glories would sprout here. And their annuals here. So I would have like all of this foliage, you know, through the summer, and it would be a great place for black widows and stuff to make nests. And also in the late summer, where the heat is like really volatile, it would probably just be brown and ugly. So summers here aren't like other summers. It is starting to cool off though. Ezra and I were talking about that this morning, that it's starting to cool off, and it was actually cold last night. And so that is a welcome feeling. I really like these scissors. And actually I learned the fussy cut. Yeah, they are evil here. You were right. I like these. Okay, hold on. Let me just say one thing at a time. I really like these scissors. I just got turned on to bevel edge scissors, right? Because they're sharper and better for fussy cutting. And this other, I don't remember who I learned it from, but you know, it was one of the junk journal YouTubers. She taught me that when you're fussy cutting, you're moving the paper around, right? Instead of moving your scissors around. So it's a little harder, I think, to use these little bitty scissors when I'm doing long cuts. Sometimes I just don't want to spend the time. And also the cuts end up being a little more consistent, you know, the fewer times I'm closing my scissors, right? But I mean, it's fine. But when there are a lot of different curves and everything, these scissors are pretty awesome to use. So while I am thinking about it, if you are interested in becoming part of the Mega Make Mondays, oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot even tell you what a godsend having things pre-made is, because so I've been wanting to take the folios and things that I make on video and finish them up really nicely, and then put them in my shop, because right now I have a lot of space being taken up by past junk journals that I've made, various different journals that I've made, that I'm never gonna be able to use all of them, right? So what I decided to do was, sorry, my brain just like completely forgot what it was saying. Oh well, somebody remind me. In the meantime, I'll show you that all of the pages that come in this Goodie Alert file, and you can get this free by joining the Junk Journal Boss Patreon group. And the other thing will come back in a minute, and I will finish that thought. But these pages are meant to be the backings, you know, of just your regular size, your quarter-sized journal cards, or your 1/8 size journal cards. And I have it in two pretty commonly used colors in junk journaling. So yeah, I think they're going to be a really cool addition to my journal cards. Mega Make Mondays. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you. So yeah, Mega Make Mondays has really served me well. And, you know, we've just started doing it recently. And I really love it, because all of the folios and things that I have been making, now I can finish them really quickly. It seemed like really super daunting, you know, to look at these bins of folios that I have that are perfectly nice folios. They just need a few things added. You know, and not everybody's like us, where they want to actually build these. You know, some people just want them pre-made for them, and so that would work. But being able to just hop into my drawer, not literally hop in, but you know what I mean. Being able to just go into the drawer and just like take stuff out and go, oh, this looks really nice. I'll put this in that pocket. You know, because all of our folios we make with plenty of pockets and things that you can use in your journal or in your folio, either way. And, you know, but what we don't do is create, you know, enough stuff. I mean, maybe we do, but enough stuff to put inside of all of the pockets. And even if we do, you know, there might be different things that you might want to put in those pockets. And Mega Make Mondays is super helpful for that. So, you know, one of the best deals that we have going on right now are, let's see. Oh, that looks pretty good, right? Pretty good. Front and back, I think I'll ink it. Is that you can join Patreon at the lowest tier that we've got. And you can participate in Mega Make Mondays. So there are perks to joining the higher tiers, but if you don't know me or whatever, and you don't know if you want to join at a higher tier, that's totally fine. You can join at the $2 tier, and you will be able to get or take part in the Mega Make Mondays every week. And so I think that's a really good deal. And not only that, you get the exclusive project for each month. It's just different for different tiers. You get, you know, more of the part of the project. And that doesn't mean that you don't have the whole project. It means that you may not be able to watch the video or something. Yeah, Mega Makes are really, really good. They're so good for me, you know, and that's partially the reason why I do it, because it's just so helpful, you know, and it makes making journals very sustainable for me. And so that's why I like them. Not only that, but you get Goodie Alert files like this one here that I'm using, and all that stuff. Yeah, agreed. Ezra says co-working is a great tool for doing those tedious tasks, and that is 100% true. You can also binge your favorite TV show, which I do quite often. Right now I'm watching Sister Wives. Has anybody watched that yet? I never did watch it because I don't know. I was into reality TV for a little while there, but it was more like Survivor and stuff like that. I never did watch them about families that I can remember. But it, you know what, they're very likable, the people. And so it's a foreign topic for me. But it's kind of interesting to see that dynamic, you know, because somehow they don't make it seem as weird, you know, for a man to have a lot of wives or whatever. This is not me saying I think this is a good idea. This is just me saying it's interesting to see the family dynamic of how they make something like that work, because it's a mystery, right? I am one that, you know, is pretty, I try to be pretty live and let live, you know, without judgment and stuff. It's just easier for me. So, all right. Okay. Let's see. So I really like these. Do you guys like how they turned out? They turn out pretty good, pretty complete. And they can be, oh, White Lotus. Yeah, I haven't looked into that just yet because I'm actually watching King of the Hill, also trying to do some of those adult cartoons, and I think that one's pretty cute, even though the art is really kind of ugly. It's fun, you know. I really like this, you guys. I do like these. They're much stronger. It's not like they're just gonna like pull off or anything. You know, they're a lot easier to use, and those are the 2mm by I think 12 maybe. Smiling Friends. What is Smiling Friends? Yeah, I have been getting some updates on that. Oh, okay. I think I remember you mentioning that to me, and I keep meaning to take a look. I'm not going to use these ones because they have these lines, and I think that'll be really weird looking. So I think I have a couple more over here. Whoops. Wow, that's a great sound, isn't it? It's about two little guys who work for a company where they have to go make people smile. That is amazing. That is amazing. That sounds so, so cute. So I'm watching King of the Hill, which so far my favorite character is probably Peggy. And which isn't very unusual. I tend to like the women characters in Bob's Burgers. I do like the characters, a lot of them better than the other show, but oh, okay. So not cry, but cry laughing. That sounds fun. But I do like the wife on Bob's Burgers as well. So she's pretty weird. Fun. So and what other show? I'm really in the middle of so many shows, you know. Should just use this thing instead of oh, do you hear that, Ezra? Did you hear that sound? That was Bella. Bella found somebody's toys. All right. She did for a moment, and then she stopped. But she did use squeeze the squeaker toy. So, Bella, do you like toys? It seemed, well, maybe she didn't really do it. Maybe she just like put her arm on that raccoon squeaker toy, because you know, she might have just been moving around or something. I'll have to have proof before before I really believe that she's playing with toys. All right, so far I actually really like having this lined paper available, and you can really just do this out of, you know, regular lined paper if you want, or larger lined paper, graph paper, whatever you have. But these ones are, you know, they're kind of give you an idea of the size that they're good for, and I don't know, sometimes that's just easier to me. So anybody that came in new, I am creating our latest, I'm so sorry about that sound, creating our latest folio, which is the Sapphire and Sapphire and Morning Glory folio. So far I have made the cover and added a magnet closure, and right now I am adding the backs, which is the lined paper, to the backs of the journal cards. Usually I just end up putting the journal cards in just like that with a blank back. And this week I got smart and decided I didn't want to really do that anymore. So if you guys want to see some of the other, sorry about that, Mass Make Monday, excuse me, Mass Make Monday stuff, not Mass Make. Everybody says Mass Make, so I try to say Mega Make Monday stuff. Here is a few things. And for some reason, this is so big. And I don't mean it to be. So there we go. These are a few things that we've done. I think we've gotten together 4 or 5 times, and this whole month we're going to be working with a couple of our different kits. This one, the Hello Kitties, the Autumn Enchantment, and a new one, which isn't really new to my patrons. My patrons have already seen it, but it's the Trick or Treat layout. It's really cute, and so we're going to be rolling that out pretty soon. This one's in the shop if you want it. It is, there's a coupon code that you can use, and it's September, let's see, September 25 is the coupon code. So the things that you're seeing up in the upper, I guess it would be the upper right hand corner, are a few of the things that we've made for Mass Make Mondays, but I'm sorry, I keep saying that. Mega Make Mondays. And they've been really cool. Really fun, interesting ways to use our time. Thank you, Ezra. And you know, like Ezra was mentioning, like co-working is so, it's really nice to do, you know. You don't even have to really talk or anything if you don't want to. Usually for the Mega Make Mondays, I'll teach you how to do something. If it's something that needs a template, I'll make a template and give it to you. You know, whatever it is that makes it easier for you to make, you know, batches of stuff, so that, you know, if you want to make a batch of journal cards, you can do it all, you know, within an hour versus, you know, while you're making a junk journal and trying to figure out how you want it to look, you know. You don't want to be having to figure out what you want to put in it. Or like, oh, well, what am I going to put in this pocket? Now I got to figure that out, you know. It's nice to be able to just go into your stuff. And so that is a big deal for me. Thank you, Ezra. Did you happen to put the Patreon in there? For those who are not part of the Patreon, you can join free and get free stuff. You know, probably like once a month, but this month I think I did more than one, and I might continue to do more than one. I don't know, but it's at least one free template or something in the month. If you join on one of the tiers, you get to come to all the geez, you guys, Mega Make Mondays. I don't know why I reverted into that habit of saying it that way, but anyways, it doesn't really matter. It's just we make a lot of stuff, you know. That's what those are for. And then you also get one, and I can't even remember what September's was. Oh, I think I do remember. I don't think I have it right here near me, but it's a pretty cool summer flowers project. Because it was the last bits of summer, right, that we're having. So most of our folios are coming with, you know, these, we've got envelopes, we've got pockets, we've got journal cards, covers, extensions. You know, they're all very, very similar, but the designs change. And this one happens to be, well, that doesn't need to be done like that, does it? This one happens to be the 9th one in Ezra's series of Gemstone and Birthflower folios. So if you're into that, or if you're looking for like a cute gift, you know, cute junk journal gift to give to somebody, to the person who has everything, I guess, you can make one of those. And yeah, you can grab those in the shop. We have 9 of them all the way through September. And that would be kind of a cool thing to make, you know, as a Christmas gift for somebody, you know. And then you can go back and look at how, look at the videos for those. A lot of them are on video. Some of them aren't yet. And some of them will be released, you know, like a month early, I think, before that actual month. So I will be featuring those in videos. And yeah, you could see how I ended up embellishing them. Cute envelope. Very, very cute. Add a little bit of this here. So on Friday from 5 to 7, I will be actually adding these into the folio. And another thing that I've started liking to do, is figuring out how we can use, because, you know, junk journals started out just with, you know, people using their trash to make journals. And I love, love, love that whole idea. So I'm looking at incorporating, you know, some upcycling into these, because really my heart is in upcycling, you know, paper. And we do create these printable sets, but you know, it does leave a lot of space for adding the extra, you know, envelopes and things that you might get in your junk mail and stuff like that. So I'll have something like that for you as well. Ooh, I have an idea. So with this set, you get 4 different envelopes. There's actually 4 different, you know, designs, general designs. And so it's really, really cohesive. And so I don't want to make all of these at the same time, because I just feel like it's a lot to do. It's a lot to ask for you guys to watch me make every single piece. But I can give, like, you know, an idea of how to make things, and then maybe I'll make it again on Friday, but it just depends on what I want to put inside. But okay, so I'm super into these magnets. And so for this I could probably use like a thinner magnet, but I think using a smaller set of magnets might be the way to go. A smaller, stronger set. So we'll try it. If I hate it, I'll make it the other way. But basically, it's just these little bitty magnets. And they're kind of expensive, so I don't know, there's that. You could probably use something different. Boy, these are actually really strong. You can use something different if you want to. But I believe that, you know, it kind of adds a lot more quality to it. You know, by adding, you know, nice magnets, nice different closures and stuff, and then also adding your junk mail to it or whatever, you know. And I have been, for the last, I don't know, better part of the year, emptying stuff out of my mom's house and my dad's house. And I have gotten a whole crap ton of stuff that I've saved for junk journal making, I guess I should say. And a lot of really neat things, like old receipts and stuff that we buy, you know, from you know, journal makers and ephemera makers and stuff. And yeah, so it's been really great fun getting a bunch of free things. Okay, I'm going to pull my little blingies out. And just these kinds of things that I get really are just, you know, Dollar Tree stuff. I like to use Dollar Tree stuff because I don't really like to recommend very expensive things here. Even if I give you like an Amazon list or something, you know, often I will put inside of the note that you can get this cheaper somewhere else. It's a wonder Amazon doesn't, you know, doesn't kick me off of their platform, but they don't. And yeah, I just like to get, you know, show you guys how to get the best deals. So I'm just kind of going through and building a little bit of the ephemera that I'll be using, so that you can see what's in there, just in case you don't want to commit. Oh, excuse me. Just in case you don't want to commit to buying something that you don't really know what's in there. You can see it in the pictures on Etsy as well, but it's fun to see, you know, what other people are doing with the things that they are working with. So that's my opinion anyways, and I'm sticking to it. So I can see that our numbers for who's watching are a little bit down, and part of that I believe is because of because I just quit, you know, sending out email and stuff. I just have a hard time keeping up with, you know, doing all of the notifications and things that, you know, that YouTube will do on its own. So if you're here and you just like by chance found me and you want to know when I go online again, because maybe you want to see the end result of this set, you know, maybe you're kind of wondering how this is going to turn out. You can go to my channel and subscribe and turn on notifications. And that way you'll always know when I go online, which is super convenient, right? Excuse me. So I think I'm going to do something different here. Sometimes I like to go outside of the box of what we actually created here, just to show how else these things can be used. It doesn't always have to look the same all the time. Oh, this is weird. I cut this weird, didn't I? All right. All right. Okay, so I am going to ink some edges. And so this is just one way that you can use some of the ephemera that comes in this and any of our other sets. It doesn't always have to be exactly what's in there. You don't have to use the pieces singularly. You can stack them and can get creative with them. And so this time I am going to, looks like my grommets or my eyelets are escaping. So let me see the color of this guy here. Try to find something similar to that, whether it's going to be this color or this color. So let's see what I like. No, I think it's going to be the light one. I think the light one is a better choice. So I'm not going to glue these together. I am actually going to match up where the circles are. It's actually this side that I need to use. Try to get everything centered nicely. And add this little guy here. And so it kind of gives a little bit of dimension. And so you can keep it straight, you can make it a little bit crooked. I don't know, whatever it is that you think is cool looking. And then I love this sheer ribbon. I think sheer ribbon is really cool. All right, so this looks really cute. Let me actually pull these out like that. So that's cute. You can always add something here if you don't like the way that looks, but I like the way it looks with the eyelet, and it's just different colors bringing things together. So that's one way that I would do that. And I got plenty of time here. See how nicely these stick though? They don't come off as easily as the other ones. Not sure what happened here, but oh well, I guess I'm gonna have to commit here. Okay. All right. Okay, so there's that and there's that. This is pretty simple like this. I haven't figured out what to do yet with this, but I'm not sure I'll do anything different with it. But one thing that I'd like to try, and this is going to be me winging it, guys, so, you know, don't hold it against me if it doesn't work out. Hi, what are you doing? So I got this, and I thought maybe I might try making something like a shaker. And this would be awfully large, you know. So, oh, I know how to do it. Never mind. I got it. So I'm not really a shaker making person. Do you guys make shakers at all? This is just from a pack of something that I got yesterday, and I can't remember what. Oh, I think it was just like rubber stamp. Not, you know, the clear acrylic stamp blocks? That's what it was. Got a few of those in a couple different sizes. So I saved this plastic so I can mess around with it a little bit every now and then. Okay, so I'll show you how I learned how to make these. Let me throw some trash away though, or else my desk just gets insane. Okay, so I am going to make one out of maybe this. So what I need is a piece that's roughly about the same size. And let me just make this completely flat. That looks pretty good. All right. And then I should do the corners, but hang on. Let me just cut off just a little bit more of this on this side. I don't usually make shakers either, but I have been thinking about it a lot. So I'm going to go ahead and just wing it and round these little corners just a little bit. A little bit harder than I thought, and now I'm kind of doing weird things here, so let me just quit with that corner. Okay, let's see how I did. Pretty good. I think the top can just be trimmed a little more. So you're just going to go ahead and trim it to the basic size and shape of the shaker that you want to make. All right, so we're going to go with that. And what I'll need for this is some mounting tape, but really thin. And so they have this at pretty much anywhere. I saw it at Hobby Lobby yesterday. It's probably a better quality than this one and maybe a little bit thinner. But this will work well for this project. So yeah, I think I'll do it this way. This is going to make it a little bit more difficult to see, but I'm going to go ahead and just start adding the tape. I don't know what that's stuck on, but I don't want to cut it. So here we go. So I've got that. I want to put something inside of it. And I think I'll do this. This isn't sapphire, but these are some beads that Ezra passed on to me. So I'll put the small ones in maybe. I don't want it to be like stuck. These might be a little, some of these might be a little too big. But there's quite a few like tiny ones. Do you remember these beads, Ezra? Just not figured out anything to do with it, but these I think might be really good in here. What's the matter, Bella? Let's see. Yeah, some of these are just going to be too tall. So I think what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this off. And ideally, what would go in here really well would be oh, let's try glitter. Let's try glitter. And maybe a couple of yeah. Let's try glitter and a couple of these beads. Like the really little flat ones. Hopefully these will work out. This one looks pretty flat. Let's see. And then we'll put something else in here. Ooh, I found something tiny here. And maybe one of these. A couple of those. And it might be good just like that. I'll know when I stick it all together. Let's just try it. Okay. Yeah, those were too tall. But at any rate, the thing I could do is I could have doubled the tape or just used a thicker tape. I actually thought this one was going to be too thin. Okay, so then, you know, to hide all of the tape, because it looks weird, then we're going to want to cover the sides, right? So let me find another piece that is just about this size. It's not that one. Not quite that one. See how we have all these really cool sizes of stuff here. And I'm trying to find the one that is actually the match to this one, but I could have set it aside somewhere. So what I will do is use think I'll go ahead and just use this same one, except I'm going to trace around it. Let me see what my live camera looks like here. Okay. And now we're going to need the center of this cut out. And it's going to need to be about 3.5 by 7. So let's see. Let's see what we come up with here. No, it has to be thick enough. Okay. No, it really does have to be 3.5 by 7. Okay. I'm going to make it more like 3. All right. I don't think that's it. I think that's it. So keeping in mind, you know, that there's quite a bit of space that I need to cover up because I don't want to see the tape, right? So what I am going to do is poke a hole right inside like that. Like further in than I think it needs to be. Let me just put it that way. And I'll go ahead and do a rough cut of from hole to hole. And it's already going to have like a rounded. So let's try this one on and see. And that looks pretty cool. I just need to clean it up a little bit, but it's actually looks pretty neat. So I think I want to just clean this up a little bit. Right, so that's something that can be made just using the pieces that we have provided in the set. So I'll put a little thin bit of glue here. And just for, no, let me just do it this way, and then I'll manage anything further a little bit later. So there's that. And then I can, oh, stop. Then I can kind of cut the excess there, and it looks pretty straight. I don't want to play with it too much, or else I'll probably take it apart by accident. But I believe what I'd like to do here is this. I would like to add some, like some kind of a ribbon to have a pole on it, like this. Ooh, look. I hadn't even thought of this. This one isn't as big as the other, but it still looks pretty good, even with the white showing on the edges, right? What do you guys think? So it's presentable on both sides. It's got a little hangy thing. It's a little shaker. I mean, you're going to want to use flatter stuff than I did, but on the fly, this is a pretty good project. What do you guys think? So today we have created the cover, an envelope. Man, this looks so cohesive. What do you guys think? I'm like super excited about this. You guys should go get this and do these with me, do the embellishing and stuff. Go back and watch this. This will be up. And then come back and do the embellishment stuff with. And look at that. Have I done you proud, Ezra? Let me turn off this other thing so it's not in the way. Let's, oops, push this down a little bit. What do you guys think? I'm excited to hear what you guys think. It's such a pretty set. And I really, really recommend it. Of course I do, right? Because, you know, it's ours. But it really is a nice set. Let's see if I can get a little more light in here. Yeah. So it started out looking really dark, but I think just using the sheer and the little blingage here, I think it's going to change it up and add a lot to it, which these are new things that I've not done, is use, you know, large gems and make shakers and things like that. And so I think it's really, really cool the way it turned out. So go ahead and Ezra, if you could post that again, the link to that. The coupon code is September 25. And if you would like to be part of our Mega Make Mondays and get a... Oh, I'm so glad you like it, Holly. I love this one. I love all of them, you know, but this one, it's kind of right up my alley because I love, love, love blue. So anyway, and purple. So what I was going to say. So go grab the kit. Go watch this video again and follow along and build yours, right? And then come back on Friday, same channel at 5 p.m. Pacific to 7 p.m. And we'll go ahead and make a little bit more, you know, do a little bit more making of the embellishments. Oh no, you're fine. And then yeah, we'll stock the whole thing. A couple things I should tell you to get before that time, just because you guys are here and if you're watching, it's just easier for me to say, but you want to get, you know, maybe some sheer blue or whatever. You might even have these things, but anyway, some sheer blue. You want to get maybe some confetti and glitter. Try to find a flat piece of plastic so that you can do that. If you have an eyelet tool and eyelets, use that, or else you can grab that. And these little guys here, you probably could get those on Amazon, but I got mine at Dollar Tree, you know, and they were pretty cheap. Some other things. Oh, you'll want mounting tape. Perhaps you'll want Salty Ocean Distress Oxide, and I will make a list. I'm just telling it to you right now, just so that you, because I have time, a little bit of time. What else? I don't know. I'm not sure, but it'll make it into the Amazon list, and so I'm going to do that right here after I'm finished. Do the Amazon list, and also for those of you that were at Mega Make Monday, I'm going to be finishing up that video and posting it for the group. You know, probably on Vimeo, not here, but at any rate, yeah, join me on Friday. This one is a really fun one to make. And don't forget to grab on Patreon your pages that are lined. And yeah, I think that's all, right? Thank you again to my patrons, my Patreon posse. Yeah, so if you want to be part of the Mega Make Mondays, you need to be on one of the paid tiers. But the good news is that you can go to you can join the $2 one and get all the benefits of the Mega Makes and, you know, the project instructions for every month. If you find that you need video instruction, if you're on the $5 tier, which is the butterflies, you'll get a week access to the video for the product, or for the project, not this. These will always be on YouTube, but the monthly projects, you'll get a week of the video if you're on the butterflies, and usually I kind of leave it up a little bit longer because I forget. And then if you are on the dragonfly tier, you get everything. You get SVGs as well, and stuff like that. But not to confuse it with these projects here. This you can buy over in the Etsy shop and watch all of the replays, you know, for these anytime you like. All right, thanks, Holly. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys go. Is there anything I'm forgetting, Ezra? I don't think so. But anyhow, I guess that's probably it. I'm going to wait a second because I know that I have a delay. I just work on a little bit. Actually, I want to take a picture real quick of this. Just for fun. And okay, so Ezra says I didn't forget anything, so I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go. Thank you for being here. I appreciate each and every one of you. Please come back on Friday from 5 to 7 and we will embellish this baby. Okay. Talk to you guys later. Bye.